brake timing.
Wasn't you referenced starting in 1941 to 43?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, to deliberately work on brake timing before, I'm not done yet, obviously, but I mean, that was a deliberate thing for years. And so it's not like, well, I'm going to go to one track day, I'm going to work on my braking. How about I'm going to take all of the year and work on my braking, right? So it's realize that you have to put your reps in with these things. So there absolutely is a way to succeed in the sport. You can do it, but it's doubling down on your training, listening to one voice, whoever that voice is. Doesn't matter. It could be mine, it could be somebody else's. Great, but listen to one voice. Man with two watches doesn't know what time it is, right? So if you're listening to 5 different voices, you get 5 different opinions, right? It makes it really, really difficult. Same thing with advice, right? Separate technique from advice. Advice is a suggestion, not an applied technique. So really think about that. So the other one I want to talk about is make it hard to crash. So yeah, crashes happen, and crashes can happen from what we call lightning strike crashes, right? Somebody maybe does a dumb pass or you have a mechanical issue, but the reasons we crash, we fall down on our motorcycles, there's 5 reasons. Lack of focus or lack of a plan. Lack of focus, lack of a plan. The second one is abrupt inputs. The third one is rushing corner entries or rushing direction of where the bike needs to be placed. The fourth one is repeating a mistake, and the last one's overconfidence. So, first one, lack of plan or lack of a focus. If we need, to be clear, you're going to go do something dangerous. Realize, I think that's something that's not talked about enough in our sport, is we have consequences in this sport. This isn't, could you imagine missing a putt and you just broke your collarbone, right? Or whatever it is. No, here, there's, not only do you have your health in your hands, you have somebody else's health in your hands. So, quick story. George and I kind of belong to this great little peer group that we have, and these are some very high-end operators. One of them is a Top Gun pilot. And after he took the first school with us, he pulls us aside, and he goes, after observing the school and watching the school, he says, tell your students they don't take this sport seriously enough. Pretty shocking. Top Gun pilot telling us we're not taking our sport seriously enough. So a little humbling, and it should be, because you are going to go do something dangerous. So make sure when you ride you've got a plan. You've got something to fall back onto, something that you're going to do, because if you have a plan, then you've got technique to apply it to. If you go out there and don't have anything to apply it to, it makes it very difficult. The second one is abrupt inputs. So the quicker we go, the smoother our inputs. So you think you're going to get more aggressive going quicker, it's completely the opposite. The smoother we have to be. The third one is rushing direction. It's respecting where the bike needs to be slowed and pointed so you can accelerate for a longer period of time. So respect where the bike needs to be slowed and pointed. It's slower than you think. The third one is then rushing direction, right? Let's make sure we're doing that. And then we're going to look at repeating mistakes. So here we have 10 corners, which means you have 10 opportunities a lap to ask yourself how you're doing. How did I get to my apex? What control am I using? How did I get to my exit? When did I get to my exit? All these become report cards in real time. And the last reason why we crash is overconfidence. There's pretty much not anybody that I know that has not bitten in the ass, but you got to fight overconfidence. You feel great because of all the things you did right. So double down when you feel amazing. Like people say, "Oh, I don't do the last ski run." Actually, I love doing the last ski run, because that's out there. That it makes me have to really intricately focus. If I'm tired and my mouth smoke, that's a challenge for me to be even better at the end of the day. So the main thing with this is realizing that this is a bitchin' sport. There's no other sport like this. We know some people that do a lot of amazing things in life, and all they want to do is ride motorcycles. we look at them, we're like, dude, I want to fly fighter jets. The fighter jet guys go, dude, when can I ride next? So realize that we do have an amazing sport, but we don't treat it seriously enough. And if you want to get good in the sport, get more serious about it, treat it like a sport, train for it, right? All those 3 elements of training, or 3 elements of the sport are in there. You can absolutely train for those. And then make it hard to crash, right? Literally, as you go out, ask yourself, have something that tells your brain that I am going to go do something dangerous. The people that have ridden with me today, you see me ride out, I stand up on my foot pegs, I sit back down, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm only in the moment. That is my trigger for I'm going to go do something dangerous. So get something going that allows you to do that. And make it hard to crash, right?
A little ritual of some sort?
Absolutely, right? I mean, I rode quite a bit with Freddie Spencer and even Nicky Hayden. They both had the same one, which is they wiggle their fingers, right? They get ready to go, put their hands on the grips, they wiggle their fingers. That is their thing. Scott Russell, we've ridden with Scott Russell a lot. Scott Russell, when he flips his face shield down, he's literally a completely different person. He's the nicest Georgia boy in the world. Flips his face shield down, he's an axe murderer. So
he grabs his butt.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Scott, right? So realize that they all have their little mantras on how they do things. So that's really all I wanted to talk about is if you want to get good in the sport, you can get good in the sport. You just got to train for it. You can go as far in the sport as you want to, but you got to work at it. And the other one is, make it hard to crash. Realize that there's 5 reasons why you crash and do what you need to do to be able to mitigate those.